Welcome to IQD Dinar News, your go-to source for the latest updates on currency exchange rates, revaluation news, and insights into the Iraqi dinar. Stay informed and ahead of the curve with our timely analysis and breaking developments. The reference to financial inclusion increasing by 48.5% as indicated by the Banks Association signifies a substantial step forward for Iraq. Financial inclusion generally refers to ensuring individuals and businesses have access to useful and affordable financial products and services, like banking, credit, and insurance, that meet their needs. This increase demonstrates that a significant portion of the population that was previously unbanked or underserved has now entered into the formal financial system, giving them access to a range of banking services. Iraq's banking sector, like that of many developing economies, has historically faced challenges related to accessibility, trust, and infrastructure. Decades of conflict, political instability, and underdevelopment have contributed to a financial landscape where many people, especially in rural areas, did not have access to formal banking. A 48.5% increase in financial inclusion represents a crucial shift, suggesting that the country is working hard to overcome these obstacles. It means more people are opening bank accounts, using ATMs, accessing credit, and participating in the modern economy. Achieving financial inclusion at such a significant rate often requires concerted efforts by multiple stakeholders. In the case of Iraq, this likely includes the government, private sector, international organizations, and technology providers, all collaborating to create more accessible and secure banking platforms. By expanding access to banking services, Iraq is likely also making use of digital solutions such as mobile banking and fintech services, which are often instrumental in reaching underserved populations. However, the increase in financial inclusion doesn't necessarily mean that the mission is complete or that Iraq has achieved all of its financial goals. Despite this progress, questions remain about what constitutes enough financial inclusion. For instance, the percentage of people who have access to banking may have risen, but do they also have access to other financial services like loans, investments, or insurance? And beyond access, are these services affordable and practical for everyday use? The choo-choo in your original statement could symbolize a feeling of momentum or a sense of forward movement in the financial sector. Much like a train gaining speed, once financial inclusion reaches a critical mass, it becomes easier to continue improving and expanding access, potentially even without the same level of intervention that was needed initially. As more people use formal banking systems, trust in these institutions grows, the demand for related services increases, and the economy benefits from a more stable financial system. But what does it mean for Iraq to be about there already? It's not just about giving people access but ensuring that they understand how to use financial services to their advantage. Iraq's dependence on oil is both a blessing and a curse. Oil revenues have provided the country with a significant source of income, but this dependency has also left Iraq vulnerable to the volatility of global oil prices. When prices are high, the economy experiences a windfall of revenue. But when prices fall, as they did during the global oil price crash in 2020, Iraq faces budget deficits, reduced government spending, and economic instability. This dependence on oil has led to what economists call the resource curse or Dutch disease, where other sectors of the economy, like agriculture, manufacturing, and services, remain underdeveloped because oil dominates the economic landscape. A lack of diversification makes Iraq's economy extremely fragile, and it also means that large portions of the population are excluded from economic opportunities. In rural areas, where agriculture might otherwise provide a livelihood, underinvestment in infrastructure and technology has limited growth. In such a context, financial inclusion becomes a critical tool for economic development. By providing more people, especially those outside the oil sector, with access to banking services, loans, and credit, Iraq can begin to develop other sectors of the economy. Small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, in agriculture, manufacturing, and services can thrive when they have access to capital, which in turn creates jobs and reduces the country's over-reliance on oil. The larger question might also relate to the broader economic context in Iraq. Given the challenges Iraq has faced, particularly with currency instability, oil dependency, and the need for diversification, increased financial inclusion might also be tied to efforts to stabilize and diversify the economy. As more people engage with the formal financial system, the banking sector grows, contributing to a healthier economic environment overall. But there's still a long way to go to ensure that the financial system serves everyone equitably and that economic opportunities are expanded to include more segments of the population. Moreover, achieving enough financial inclusion also involves addressing the gender gap in banking. In many developing countries, women tend to have less access to formal financial services than men, and Iraq is no exception. So even if financial inclusion is rising overall, attention needs to be paid to ensuring that women, rural populations, and other marginalized groups are not left behind. In conclusion, while Iraq's significant progress in financial inclusion is commendable, it's part of a broader, ongoing process. The question of whether they have achieved enough will depend on continued progress across a variety of fronts. Ensuring equitable access to all populations, fostering financial literacy, expanding the range of financial products available, and stabilizing the economy so that financial inclusion becomes a natural part of everyday life. The train is certainly moving forward, but there are still many stations ahead. One of the major economic challenges Iraq has faced is currency instability. The Iraqi dinar has fluctuated in value over the years, in part due to political instability, inflationary pressures, and the country's reliance on oil revenues. Currency instability makes it difficult for both businesses and individuals to plan for the future. When the value of money is uncertain, people are less likely to use formal banking systems, preferring instead to keep their wealth in tangible assets like real estate or even foreign currencies like the US dollar. This creates a vicious cycle, where low trust in the banking system leads to lower financial participation, which in turn hampers the growth of the banking sector and limits the economy's overall potential. In this context, increasing financial inclusion can help stabilize the currency by bringing more wealth into the formal economy, where it can be tracked, taxed, and managed more effectively. Efforts to stabilize the Iraqi dinar could also encourage people to engage more with the banking system. When the currency is stable, people are more likely to trust banks with their money, invest in local businesses, and participate in the broader economy. This, in turn, helps to further stabilize the currency by increasing economic activity and reducing reliance on foreign reserves. Thanks for tuning in to IQD Dinar News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. For more updates on the Iraqi dinar and global currency trends,